Being the president of a country is a dangerous job. No one knows this better than Vladimir Putin, who over 20 years has survived 43 different assassination attempts. Get ready to find out how Putin survived, and how his 6 layers of security make him impossible to kill. Almost every year, Putin survives at least one assassination attempt. All of these experiences is partly why his security is so good, as they've had lots of training in real-life situations. Some of these assassination attempts were done very professionally, but thankfully for Putin, all of them were foiled. There was an attempt on Putin's life as soon as he became president back in 1999. This was by the Russian mafia. Putin had begun cracking down on organized crime, which at the time was plaguing Russia. In retaliation, the Russian mafia tried to bomb Putin's car. A bomb was planted, but Putin's security found it. Some of the mafia members involved went to prison, while others were taken out. Later that year, Putin was almost assassinated in Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan militants planned to assassinate Putin while he was there on a state visit, but the plot was uncovered and the militants were arrested. A year later, in 2000, Chechen separatists planned to assassinate Putin. During his visit, a remote-control bomb was detonated near Putin's motorcade. Several of Putin's bodyguards were injured, but Putin himself survived. In 2002, Putin was almost assassinated using a jar of poison jam. He was scheduled to have breakfast at a hotel in Crimea, but Putin's food testers discovered the poison jam before he ate it. Also in 2002, Putin went to a parade in Moscow's Red Square. In a nearby building, snipers were in position to take out Putin, but the Federal Protective Service, or FSO, caught wind of this, and swiftly arrested the snipers. As if 2002 couldn't get worse for Putin, he was nearly assassinated again, this time during a trip to Azerbaijan. An Iraqi man with connections to Chechen separatists wanted to assassinate Putin. He planned to plant explosives under Putin's car. However, the Azerbaijan police discovered his plan. The man was soon arrested and later sentenced to 10 years in prison. The same year, another man tried to blow up Putin with a bomb. He planned to drive along the motorway next to Putin's motorcade, and from his car detonate a 40-kilogram explosive. Luckily for Putin, the FSO found out. They rerouted Putin's motorcade, while at the same time ambushing and eliminating the would-be assassin. In 2003, Putin was nearly assassinated during a visit to the UK. 2 Russian men planned to assassinate Putin with snipers, but they were arrested by British officers from SO13, which is the UK's elite anti-terror police. The following year, the FSO discovered a plot to poison Putin's food. This was during a visit to a foreign country. Where this happened and who the perpetrators were remains classified, but it seems no food gets anywhere near Putin without being tested first. But some attempts on Putin's life are very close calls. In 2012, Putin visited Ukraine. During the trip, several men were arrested on the Black Sea. They were Chechen separatists who planned to take out Vladimir Putin. They had built various bomb vests. They had planned to blow up Putin and themselves. But luckily for Putin, Ukrainian police arrested the men. By now, you're probably asking, how is it possible for Putin to survive so many assassination attempts? You might think he's the luckiest man in the world, but luck has nothing to do with it. It's all thanks to Putin's 6 layers of security that make him an impossible target to kill. Putin's first line of defense is the Federal Protective Service, better known as the FSO. Their job is to protect high-up Russian officials by any means necessary. Their budget is a blank check, meaning that no expense is spared when it comes to protecting Putin's life. The FSO's budget is classified, but it's believed to be in the billions of rubles. After all, the FSO employs over 50,000 people. Their training is intense, but it's nothing compared to the training of Putin's private army. In 2016, Putin formed the Rosguard. This is a private army which reports directly to Vladimir Putin, comprised of over 340,000 troops. The Rosguard's job is not to stop external assassination attempts, but instead to quell any internal threats to Putin. For example, coups or military takeovers. Putin's final human line of defense is the Presidential Security Service, better known as the SBP. Their job is to secure the president's life. These are the guys who will literally jump in front of bullets if they need to. The SBP are Putin's personal bodyguards, but as there's so many people behind the scenes, they should never really be used. The FSO and the Rosguard should have taken out any threat before the bodyguards even got involved. If Putin's bodyguards ever need to take action, this means Putin's over 2,500 people already failed in their jobs. Putin's bodyguards have insane training and a big responsibility. Instead of restraining any potential threats, their directive is to take them out. They're authorized to kill anyone who they perceive to be a threat. Putin's bodyguards are not allowed to be ex-police. That's because their training in restraint might make them less likely to use lethal force. Instead, Putin's bodyguards are mainly operational psychologists, coming from the highest ranks of Russia's special forces. They're trained in spotting potential threats simply by analyzing a person's facial expressions. Putin does not allow his bodyguards to display any sign of weakness, meaning they must be equipped to deal with extreme temperatures. This means no sweating in heat or shivering in cold is allowed. Putin's bodyguards must be very strong and able to run for miles with no breaks. They also must be between 19 and 35 years old, be between 5'7" and 6'2" in height, and weigh between 75 and 90 kilograms. They must also speak at least 5 languages and understand politics. Something you'll notice about Putin's bodyguards is they're always carrying briefcases. However, these aren't briefcases at all. Instead, they're expandable bulletproof shields. Putin's bodyguards are also equipped with 9mm Gurza pistols, loaded with armor-piercing bullets. Putin's bodyguards also hold umbrellas. These do act as normal umbrellas, but they're made of Kevlar, meaning that they can double up as bulletproof shields. Some of Putin's bodyguards are even dressed in plain clothes. They blend into crowds, allowing them to get close to anyone they think could be a threat. Some of Putin's bodyguards will be far away, hidden in nearby buildings with snipers. Some sniper nests are clearly visible to deter any potential attacks, while others are stealthily hidden away. Putin's bodyguards also check any room he goes into before he enters, making sure there are no explosives, cameras, or listening devices. They also examine and taste all of Putin's food, making Putin impossible to poison. But Putin's 6 layers of defense don't just include humans. For example, Putin's limo. Putin already has an insane motorcade. Everywhere he goes, dozens of cars and motorbikes follow. Putin's limo is a Russian-made Aura Senate. The limo is bomb and bulletproof from every angle. It's even resistant to chemical gas attacks. There are tiny cameras all over the car, allowing Putin's bodyguards inside the car to see every angle. There are even secret exits on the car's roof and rear, as well as various hidden compartments for AK-47s. But nowadays, Putin does most of his traveling by train. He does this using a so-called ghost train. Putin's train looks exactly the same as any other train in Russia. The only external difference are the signal blockers mounted on top. But there is nothing regular about the interior of Putin's train. The interior is very luxurious, complete with health and fitness centers, various offices, an entertainment room, and even its own medical center. The train is also bulletproof and bomb-proof. Putin's train only stops at secret train stations, which are dotted all around Russia. But how does Putin travel in the air? Well, while in Russia, Putin mainly uses his own helicopter. It's a reinforced Mi-8, which is the same model used by the Russian military. Putin's helicopter is heavily reinforced, complete with bulletproof windows, signal jammers, and anti-missile defense systems. It's also followed from every angle by Russian fighter jets wherever it goes. Putin's helicopter even has communication systems on board, meaning that if he wants to, he can launch a nuclear strike while in the air. But what about when Putin is flying out of Russia? If Putin has to fly far away, he uses his own plane. It's a heavily modified IL-96-300PU. The plane has signal jammers and anti-missile defense systems, and basically operates like a mobile command center. There are large offices inside the plane, meaning Putin can command soldiers and military officials from his airplane. He can even launch nuclear strikes from his plane. The plane even has a secret escape capsule, meaning that Putin can escape if anything goes wrong in the air. The interior of the plane is total luxury, with gold decorations all over the place, as well as gyms, bedrooms, shower rooms, and more. Not surprising, seeing as Putin's plane cost over $550 million. All of these layers of security make Putin an impossible target to kill. It may seem over the top, but seeing as Putin has survived over 43 assassination attempts during his tenure, maybe all of this is totally necessary. And due to the ongoing invasion of Ukraine, Putin has a bigger target on his back than ever before. But now it's time for you to make your voice heard. What are your thoughts on Vladimir Vladimir Putin? Comment below. If you want to see my short videos, then check out my second channel. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And if you haven't already, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.